Hi guys, my name's Ali. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today we are doing another camp question and answer. So grab a snack and enjoy. This will be everlasting love. So the first question is, what is your #1 camp essential? I would say a waterproof watch, digital if you're like me and you know, can read analog time, but it takes a little bit longer. Also sunglasses and an open mind. I love this question. Someone asked, can you please post your 5 favorite photos from this summer? And I happily will. Here is one, here is another one, and that one, and this one, and that one, and one more. There's a bunch of photos on my Instagram as well. If you'd like to follow that, I'll link it down below. A lot of people asked if you sleep in a cabin or a bunk with the campers, like if all the staff do that. If you're with a division, yes, you sleep in a bunk with the kids, at least at my camp. I think that's generally how it is, and then that includes general counselors, specialties, and group leaders. So you'll sleep in a bunk with them at night, you'll eat meals together, and then you'll just separate from them when you have to go teach an activity, and then you'll come right back to them again. So a lot of people asked about job fairs, the camp job fairs, and whether I would recommend that or if I would suggest just sort of going through the system and getting placed. I'm talking so much with my hands, I'm sorry. Basically, I think they're a really great idea personally. I didn't go to one. I think I applied too late for that. But if you have the option, I would definitely go to one, because then you just have the peace of mind of knowing where you're going. You're hired on the day. You can research where you want to go. If you find a camp that you like, you can apply, you know, walk up and specifically say like, hey, I would love to work for you, and get a job on the spot. Whereas if you just go through the system, you're like waiting for months, just waiting for an email. If you want to start making plans and start booking things, it's better to be locked in sooner rather than later. Research the camps that are going to be there, and then talk to a few, see which ones you like, and see if you can get hired at one. And then the beauty of that is, if you don't like any on the day, or if you don't get hired, your file will still be in place and you'll get hired through the other way, like I did. Somebody asked, do you have to swim or be topless if you are a guy? I think it would be completely fine to wear a t-shirt in the lake, in the pool, whatever. You know, us girls have to wear one pieces anyway, so like modesty is kind of a good thing, I guess. And I'm sure there are campers that feel that way as well. So if anything, like, you might be able to talk to them about it. Whatever you're comfortable with is the exact right thing to do. I'm reading a question off my laptop here now. This girl has been with her boyfriend for 4 years, and she's afraid that leaving to go to America for 2 to 3 months will hurt your relationship. Any advice on this? I think personally, if you've been together for 4 years, you guys would have an awesome foundation. You obviously have a lot of like good trust and communication, hopefully. And I think going away for 2 to 3 months on your own is not the end of the world. I think it's a really cool idea, actually. It will give you a lot of independence, and it's just something for you. It's a way to sort of chase a passion or hobby, or grow and learn as a person, as an individual. Being in a relationship for that long, obviously your lives kind of meld together a lot, whereas this gives you a chance to do something just for you, and it's not negatively taking away from your relationship. You still have that same love. It gives you stories to tell. It just kind of enriches your life a little bit, something outside of the relationship. This said, 2 of my friends at camp were in like serious relationships, and towards the end of camp were like very much ready and excited to see their significant others. Ali and Josh, I'm talking to you. There was definitely a part of them that was kind of missing that, which is kind of sad, but also just nice that you have something to look forward to when you go home. People asked, do you need to have an American bank account to work at a camp? Thankfully, no. It is super simple. So at my camp, I'm assuming it's the same at all camps, but basically you get given a social security number, and then at the end of camp, we get given a check by our boss. We take it to the bank and we cash it, which does mean you then have cash, like you get paid in cash, and you have like this envelope, this fat wad of just notes. That can be daunting, especially if you're getting paid thousands of dollars. But yeah, that's just how it works. Do you normally take jumpers to camp? Yes, it does get cold. It depends where you go, obviously. If your camp's in like Texas, it might be warmer. Mine's up in New England, and it does get cold at night. Thankfully, not that cold. But yeah, I do take jumpers to camp. I will show you the ones that I had there with me this summer. So if you saw my thrift haul in June, you'll recognize this jumper. But I had this bad boy, that's one. I had this guy, which I thrifted last year before camp in Washington, obviously. That's 2. This guy, my campers designed last year. It's kind of like our camp's logo or mascot or something. That's 3. This one is the one that my campers this year designed. It is really cool. That's 4. This one, which was thrifted and cropped, and I'm obsessed with this. I wear it all the time. This little guy. And I'm pretty sure I had like 2 more, which I just left at camp. So yeah, I have a lot of jumpers. You only really need 1 or 2. Did you have any campers or co's that were hard to connect with or difficult? If so, how did you deal with them? So I'm gonna be really annoying and say no. I've been really lucky. I've had incredible divisions. My campers have been amazing. I love them so much. And maybe that's easier because they're older girls, so it's a lot easier to sort of connect with them and have conversations, and you know, they're a little bit more mature. But also with my co-counselors, nothing but amazing. These people I adore so much and have been wonderful at their job. I can't say enough good things about them. I do think I definitely have an advantage being a general counsellor. It means that I get to spend more time with the kids. I know a lot of my friends that were specialty said, you know, they didn't get to bond quite as much, whereas because I'm a general counsellor, I'm with them all day, every day. And so you kind of get to really know the well-informed, great bonds. But if I did have a problem, that's just something you would talk to like head of girls camp, head of boys camp, your group leader about, or just sit down with them and have an honest discussion and say like, hey, maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Like, I'd really like us to have a great relationship and, you know, be friends and work well together. You're there for the kids at the end of the day. And so you really want to make that a good environment for them and lead by example. Literally just got a message in my group text from some of the girls I traveled with. A lot of people ask me about privacy in the bunk and like showering and what that situation was like. So obviously, again, every camp's gonna be different, but mine is essentially we have the bunk with a row of beds, and then there's the bathroom at the end, and there's like 2 or 4 showers and 2 or 4 toilets, and everyone gets pretty close. I don't really know how else to explain it, but like there's not really that much privacy just because everyone gets really comfortable around each other, so there's not really a need for it. But if you do want to maintain your modesty, or you feel more comfortable not being around other people in that way, you could just shower in the morning because most shower at night. You could shower, you know, during some downtime or a free period or something like that if you didn't want to be around everyone else. Really not a big deal. At the end of the day, we're always just like in and out, and like the kids have shower parties, and yeah, it's just kind of like you become sort of a family. But I will say it does get disgusting. Like, yeah, it's really gross. Like the floors in the bathroom are just covered in like water and mud all the time, and the people that clean our bunks are angels for dealing with that. But yeah, it's just camp, so it's gonna be gross, you know, you just kind of get used to it. So someone asked if councils wear Tues and charcos, I think that's how you pronounce them, or mostly sneakers. So my camera battery died, and then I forgot to answer this question, but basically most of us wore like runners or sneakers or trainers or whatever you call them, except for my one friend Kim, who did wear charcos and looked flippin' cute in them. So shout out to you, Kim. Did you rent a car when you had days off? Yeah, so most of the days off, I believe we rented a car just from a local place in town, or sometimes we would borrow one of the Americans. So one of our friends that drove their car to camp and had it there would be ever so kind enough to let us borrow it. Shout out to you, Anne, and whoever else let me borrow your car. Thanks. How often do you get nights off at camp? I also heard there are sometimes counselors on duty during the night. Yes, so obviously again, every camp will be different, but we personally are on duty every 4 days. So you're either in A, B, C, or D rotation group. So if you're on OD, you won't go out, you will stay and take care of the kids. You stay with them until 12:30 or 12, depending on curfew, and you just don't go out that night. Sometimes you'll be really grateful for those OD nights because you're just exhausted and you don't want to go out, and it's nice just to sit and talk to some kids or read a book. A lot of people ask me if it's normal to be older at camp. It doesn't really matter what age you are. If anything, I think those few extra years give you more experience, and yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. At my camp, I think the age of people, especially international staff, was like 18 to 26-ish. A lot of the time you don't actually really know anyone's age. It's not like at school where you're all in the same grade, you know, we all just come together and we all feel like big kids anyway. So I'm about to apply at ccusa and was wondering if you had an interview with a person before you got placed at camp. Yes, so everyone goes through this, but it's not scary at all. I think when people think of an interview, they think of like a job interview where you're going to a person, you have to impress them, and you're competing for a job against other people. It's not like that at all. Basically, you're sitting down with someone that just wants to like learn who you are, and you talk about yourself and your passions, your hobbies, your interests, your skills, your qualifications, and they basically just help put all your details in the system, and that goes out to camps and they will find the best match for you. So it's really not like a scary experience. You have nothing to be nervous about. I know you're probably not going to feel confident or comfortable going into it, but as soon as you get there and do it and walk out, you'll be like, oh, Ali was right. There was nothing to be scared of. There was nothing to be nervous about. Also, I have a whole video on like the process of applying and how to become a camp counselor, so I will link that down below too. Did you have a problem at camp being vegan on a social level? Did anyone have a problem with it? Thankfully, no. But to be fair, I've been at my camp for like 3 years now, so most people already know me and know that I'm vegan. There was a couple of other vegans and vegetarians. In fact, my camp, damn, we had some really good vegan food. Like the other day, I was really missing the grilled cheese, which is very artificial and gross and not healthy, but it was delicious. Same goes for the mac and cheese and the pad thai. Oh my god, yum. But no, socially, it was fine. I don't know, I just think like, who cares? You know, like, who cares if you're vegan or vegetarian or whatever? If someone was weird about it socially, it's like, that's a reflection of them, not you. Like, it's 2018. Most people know that a plant-based diet is like the #1 way to help our planet, so I don't think anyone would shame you for that. I don't know, I just like, camp's a place for open-minded people and kind people, and I haven't encountered anything bad about it. I got a lot of questions asking if I was nervous the first time I applied for camp. So bear in mind, I first started this journey like years ago and I can't remember that well, but I think I would have been nervous doing the application, and I was definitely nervous going to the consulate for the first time because they can be very intimidating. But as soon as I got placed and I got my email from my camp director, and he was just like so nice and so welcoming, I knew that that was where I was meant to be. And because it was something I'd wanted to do for so long, I think the excitement overrided any of that. But if you are feeling nervous, know that that's completely fine. It's normal. You know, you're flying to the other side of the world potentially to go and work somewhere you haven't been before. It's normal to feel nervous, but something I like to remind myself is that that feeling we get, that physical, like biological response, nervousness feels the same as excitement in your body. So you can decide which one it is. So if you have that feeling, just tell yourself it's excitement, and you know that feeling is because you care about something and you want it to be good. And like, before you know it, you'll be there and it'll just feel like home. It'll be so natural. Does every camp have a color war or just mine? I'm pretty sure every camp does this. I think some just call it like Olympics, but I'm pretty sure most camps do. Ben Platt's Instagram bio says color war champion, so I know at least his does too. Should I try working at a different camp than I've been working at for the past 5 years? So I have always had this like intense curiosity about other camps. That's why whenever you guys message me and say like, I got placed at a camp or I got hired, I always ask where, because I just want to know as much as I can about other camps. Not in like a, is it better than mine, or like what's the difference? I just want to know about every camp. So it could be a really interesting experience, especially if you feel like you've learned everything you can from yours, or you've given all that you can to your camp. It could be really exciting to see what else is out there. At the same time, it's a terrifying thought to think of not going back to like where you're safe and comfortable and have so much love for. So I can't make that decision for you, but let me know what you choose, because I think either way you're gonna have a good time. Someone says, what are the top 3 things that make you go back year after year? That's a great question. #1 is for sure my friends. These are like the people that are closest to me. They literally become your family, your co-workers and your colleagues or whatever. They become like brothers and sisters, or just like best friends, because when you're living together every day and you're all in this bubble, like they just become your whole world. They're your support system, they're everything. #2, maybe like the traditions, the things that I miss, as like singing in the dining hall and like jumping in the lake and seeing the sunsets and like those things that I can't really do anywhere else. #3 is for sure the kids, just the campers. They are the heart and soul of camp. Obviously, like they're why we go, they're why we do it. Also, bonus #4 is that like I just love America and traveling and seeing the national parks there, and working overseas is a great way to do that. You kind of get paid to go and travel and live in a different country and experience different things. And #5 is like Goodwill and Walmart and just all those little things that I love. And Broadway, getting to see Broadway shows. Yeah. Okay, I've saved this question for last because I'm probably going to ramble a little bit, but someone asked like, what are my favorite memories from this year? So I'm going to share some with you now. I wrote a little list in my phone. Oh, this one day off, we went to the beach. This was our last day off with a group of my friends. We rented these 2 cars and we drove to a beach like an hour or 2 away, and we just had the best day. Like, we were floating out in the ocean. There were waves there, which I really didn't know they had waves in like New England beaches, and I was just so happy. I remember just saying to my friends like, I can't believe how lucky we are, I'm so happy, blah blah blah. Yeah, swimming in the waves, and like I think we went skinny dipping and just like throwing seaweed at each other. I stood there sort of in the shallows of the ocean with one of my friends, looking back at the rest of our like group of friends in the sand and just thinking like, we are so lucky. This is just the best day and life ever. Another one was during orientation week. A friend of mine started like a conga line kind of dancing around the dining hall, and pretty much everyone got involved, and we were just being so silly and ridiculous, and that's exactly what camp is about. And that also happened again towards the end of camp when I was really realizing how much I was going to miss that place. Just dancing in the dining hall, cleaning up after a meal. We'd put on music and we would dance, and I just felt so happy and so lucky to be there. So this is really specific, but during the basketball tournament, other schools come and compete with us. Anyway, we didn't win the tournament, but this one moment, it was exactly as the half-time buzzer was about to go off, and this kid from the other team had the ball at half court and threw it. The buzzer went and he got it in, and like, even though it wasn't my team and we were gonna lose, it was just the best thing I've ever witnessed in my whole life. And like, we went crazy and I felt so lucky to witness that. That was just one of those like movie moments. Oh, and also towards the very end, when all the kids have left, we were given permission by my boss to basically tear down the teepee. It wasn't being used and it was kind of just getting in the way. So we all went up to ropes and we kind of just all had these different weapons and tools and we're tearing it down. Some people had like machetes, and I don't know where we got any of these things, but we were just breaking it down. And then the rope staff turned it into a campfire and we had this beautiful one last little campfire all together. And it was just the strongest, like tallest, biggest fire, most beautiful fire I've ever seen. And it was really beautiful and sad because it was the last time we were all together, but it was just really nice. There was this other great day at camp. It was during the second camp that we hosted and we didn't have any activities for the afternoon. So my friends and I went down to the lake and we hung out there from like 2 p.m. till like 6 p.m. just all afternoon, like on paddle boards, listening to Sam Hunt and just being together, and that made me so happy as well. That was a great day. Okay, so this video has already gone for way too long. I will try and end it here, but if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments down below and I will get back to you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you would like to see more videos, and please give this a thumbs up. Really helps me out. If you'd like to see more of my camp videos, I'll leave that playlist down below as well as the link for the ccusa website if you'd like to sign up. If you want another video like this, let me know. Bye!